Hello, and welcome to Hello English. We're so glad you're joining us to practice your listening skills today.
It's great to be here. All right, so today's topic is actually something I think people think is boring, but it's secretly powerful.
That already sounds suspicious. What is it?
Talking about your day.
That's it?
Yeah,
Ryan, that sounds like the most basic thing ever.
exactly. That's why it's powerful. People ignore it because it feels too simple.
Okay, wait, I kind of get what you mean. Like, people are always looking for advanced English, but they don't practice the everyday stuff.
Yes, that's exactly it. If you can talk naturally about your day, you can handle like 70% of real conversations.
Yeah. Because most conversations are like, what did you do today? Or how was your day?
Right, and people freeze.
Oh, yeah, totally. I've seen that. Someone asks, what did you do today? And the answer is just nothing.
And you know they did something.
Exactly. Even if you stayed home, you still did things.
Yes, and that's what we're going to explore today, how small daily habits like talking about your day can create big results in your English.
Okay, I like that. Small habits, big results. That sounds like a motivational quote.
It kind of is.
Should we put that on a t-shirt?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Okay, fair.
So let me ask you something. When someone asks you, how was your day, what do you usually say?
Depends on my mood. If I'm tired, I just say, it was fine.
Yeah, same. That's like the default answer.
Fine is such a lazy word.
It really is. It doesn't tell you anything.
Exactly. It's like safe, but boring.
Okay, quick learning moment here.
Oh, here we go.
When we say default, we mean something you use automatically without thinking.
Yeah, like your default answer is your usual answer.
Right, so it was fine is the default answer for a lot of people.
But if you want to improve your English, you need to go beyond that.
Exactly, even just a little.
Okay, so let's make this practical. If someone asks, how was your day? What's a better answer?
All right, instead of it was fine, you could say it was pretty busy actually.
Ooh, nice. That already sounds more natural.
Or it was kind of stressful but productive.
I like that. It gives more detail.
Yeah, and notice we're not using complicated words.
That's important. You don't need fancy vocabulary.
Exactly, you just need real language.
Okay, wait, let me try one.
Go for it.
Honestly, it was a bit slow. I didn't do much, just stayed home and watched some videos.
That's perfect.
Really?
Yeah, because it sounds real. It sounds like something an actual person would say.
I think that's the key, right? Sounding like a real person.
Exactly, not like a textbook.
Yeah, because textbooks don't say, I just stayed home and watched videos.
They say something like, I engaged in leisure activities.
Ugh, no one talks like that. No one. Okay, so let's break this down. Why is talking about your day such a powerful habit?
All right, I see 3 big reasons.
Okay, I'm listening.
First, it's something you can do every single day.
That's true. Everyone has a day.
Exactly, you don't need a special topic.
Yeah, you don't have to think, what should I talk about?
Your day is the topic.
That's actually really helpful for learners who don't know what to practice.
Yes, this removes that problem completely.
Okay, what's the second reason?
It helps you build fluency.
Explain that.
Fluency is your ability to speak smoothly without too many pauses.
Ah, okay. Good definition.
And when you talk about your day, you're practicing connecting ideas.
Like, first I did this, then I did that.
Exactly, you're telling a story, even if it's a simple one.
That makes sense.
And the third reason, it builds confidence.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because you're talking about something familiar.
Right, it's your life. You already know it.
Exactly, you're not trying to explain something complicated like politics or science.
Yeah, that would be stressful.
Very stressful.
Okay, so small habit, talk about your day. Big result, better English.
I like it.
Simple formula. Wait, can we talk about something real for a second?
Sure.
I think a lot of learners feel like their day is too boring to talk about.
Oh, that's a big one.
Yeah, they think, I didn't do anything interesting.
But here's the thing. Interesting is subjective.
Ooh, good word.
Yeah, subjective means it depends on the person.
Right. What's interesting to me might not be interesting to you.
Exactly. But in conversation, it's not just about the activity, it's about how you describe it.
Yes, that's so true.
Like saying, I watched a movie is okay.
But saying, I watched this movie, and honestly, it was way better than I expected.
That's interesting.
Exactly.
You added emotion, you added opinion.
And that makes people want to respond,
Yes, that's another key point. Conversation is interaction.
not just information.
Exactly.
Okay, let's do a little role play.
All right.
I'll ask you, how was your day?
Okay.
How was your day?
It was fine.
Okay, conversation dead.
Yeah, it's over.
All right, try again. How was your day?
It was pretty busy, actually. I had a lot of work in the morning, and then in the afternoon, I just felt really tired.
Oh, interesting. What kind of work were you doing?
See, now the conversation continues.
Exactly. That's the difference.
You give a little detail, and the other person can ask a follow-up question.
Okay, quick explanation. Follow-up question means the question you ask after the first one to continue the conversation.
Perfect.
All right, your turn. Ask me.
How was your day?
It was kind of a lazy day, to be honest. I didn't feel very productive.
Oh, really? What did you do instead?
I mostly just stayed in bed and watched random videos on my phone.
That sounds relatable.
Yeah, we all have those days.
Okay, wait. To be honest, that's a great phrase.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
You use it when you want to be real or truthful.
Like maybe a little more personal.
Exactly.
I didn't feel very productive, to be honest.
Nice.
Okay, can we talk about structure a bit?
Sure.
Because some learners might be thinking, okay, but how do I organize what I say?
Good point.
Like, do I just say random things?
No, a little structure helps.
Okay, give us a simple structure.
All right, here's an easy one. Morning, afternoon, evening.
Oh, that's simple.
Yeah, you can say, in the morning I did this, in the afternoon, in the evening. That's actually really useful. Or you can use first, then, after that. Ooh, I like that too. First, I checked my emails, then I had lunch. After that, I went for a walk. That sounds very natural. And again, simple words. Yeah, nothing complicated. Okay, let me try a full example. Go for it. Today was pretty normal. In the morning, I woke up late, which was not great. Then I had a quick breakfast and started working. In the afternoon, I had a meeting, and honestly, it was kind of boring. And in the evening, I just relaxed and watched some videos. That's perfect. You think so? Yeah, it's simple, clear, and natural. And notice I said, which was not great. Oh yeah, that's a nice little detail. It shows feeling. Exactly. Emotion makes your English more human. Yes. Okay, I want to try one too. Go ahead. Today was actually pretty good. First, I went for a walk in the morning, which felt really refreshing. Then I did some work, but I got distracted a lot, which is kind of a problem. And in the evening, I talked to a friend, and that made me feel better. That's really good. I feel like I'm in a test. You passed. Thank you. All right, let's talk about small habits. Yes, that's part of our topic. So, what's one small habit someone can start today? I would say talk to yourself. That sounds weird. I know, but it works. Okay, explain. At the end of the day, just spend 2 to 3 minutes talking about your day out loud. Out loud is important. Yes, not just in your head, because speaking is a physical skill. Exactly. Your mouth needs practice too. That sounds funny, but it's true. It is. Okay, so you could say, today was, and just start talking. Yeah, don't overthink it, even if you make mistakes. Mistakes are fine. Actually, mistakes are necessary. Yes, that's how you improve. Okay, quick phrase. Overthink. Ah, good one. To overthink means to think too much about something, usually in a negative way. Right, like you're stuck in your head. So don't overthink your English. Just speak, even if it's messy. Messy is okay. Messy is progress. That should also be on a t-shirt. We're building a whole brand here. We really are. Okay, another small habit? Recording yourself. Ooh, that's scary. It is. I don't like hearing my voice. Same. It always sounds weird, but it's super helpful. Yeah, because you can hear your mistakes and also your progress. That's important. Sometimes you don't realize you're improving. Exactly. Okay, but let's be honest. Most people won't do it. Yeah, it takes courage. Good word. Courage means the ability to do something even if you're afraid. Nice. So yeah, it takes courage to record yourself. But even once a week could help. Definitely. Okay, I have a question. Go ahead. What if someone doesn't have anyone to talk to in English? That's a common problem. Yeah. But the good news is you don't actually need another person. Explain. You can talk to yourself, like we said, right? You can also pretend you're talking to someone, like imaginary conversation. Exactly. That sounds kind of fun. It is. You can be both people. So you ask yourself, how was your day? And then answer, yes. That's actually a great idea. And you can practice questions and answers. Okay, that's really useful. All right, I think this is a good place to pause for part one. Wait, already? Yeah, we've covered a lot. That's true. In part two, we can go deeper, more natural expressions, more real life examples. Maybe even some mistakes people make? Definitely. Okay, I'm excited. Same here. All right.
All right, we're back. We are back, and I feel like now we should go a little deeper. Yeah, part one was like the foundation. Exactly. Now we build on top of it. Okay, so quick recap. What did we talk about? We talked about why talking about your day is powerful, how it builds fluency, confidence, and how small habits lead to big results. Perfect summary. Thank you, I try. Now let's talk about something important. Mistakes. Ah, yes, everyone's favorite topic. Yeah, people don't like mistakes, but they're everywhere. And honestly, they're useful. Very useful. Okay, so what's a common mistake learners make when talking about their day? I think one big mistake is using very short answers. Like, fine, good, okay. Exactly. We talked about that in part one. Yeah, but it's worth repeating because it's so common. True. Another mistake, trying to use very advanced words. Oh yes, that one is big. People think if I use difficult words, my English will sound better. But it often sounds unnatural. Exactly, or they use the word incorrectly. Yeah, like using a word they learned but don't fully understand. Right, that can actually confuse the listener. Okay, let's give an example. All right. Instead of saying I was very exhausted due to excessive occupational responsibilities, you can just say I was really tired because of work. So much better. So much more natural. And easier to understand. Exactly. Okay, quick phrase, due to. Ah, yeah. It means because of, but it sounds more formal. Right, so in everyday conversation, because of is usually better. Good tip. All right, another mistake. Another mistake, not connecting ideas. Oh, that's a good one. Like saying, I woke up, I ate breakfast, I worked. It sounds robotic. Exactly, it's correct, but not natural. So what should they do instead? Use simple connectors. Like and, then, after that? Yes, those are perfect. Okay, let me try. Go ahead. I woke up late and then I quickly ate breakfast. After that, I started working. That sounds much better. Yeah, it flows. Exactly, flow is a good word here. Yeah, when something flows, it moves smoothly. Like a river. Ooh, nice image. Thank you. Okay, let's talk about another problem. Overthinking again. Always a problem. Yeah, people try to make perfect sentences. And then they don't speak at all. Exactly. Silence is worse than mistakes. 100%. Okay, let me say that again because it's important. Say it louder. Silence is worse than mistakes. Yes. If you don't speak, you don't improve. Exactly. Even broken English is better than no English. That's a powerful mindset. Yeah, mindset is how you think about something. Good explanation. All right, let's do something practical. Yes, I like practical. Let's take a very simple sentence and improve it step by step. Okay. Sentence. I worked today. Very basic. Step 1, add a little detail. I worked a lot today. Good. Step 2, add feeling. I worked a lot today and I feel really tired because I had so many meetings. Perfect. See, same idea, but much better. Exactly, that's how you build your speaking. Step by step. Small improvements, big results. There it is again. We're consistent. All right, let's talk about natural expressions. Ooh, this is fun. Yeah, this is where your English starts to sound more real. Okay, give me one. Kind of. Oh, that's a good one. We use kind of to make something softer or less strong. Like, I was kind of tired. Exactly, not 100% tired, but a little. It sounds more natural than I was tired. Yeah, it feels more conversational. Okay, my turn, a bit. Nice. Same idea, I was a bit stressed. Perfect. These small words make a big difference. They really do. Okay, another one, actually. I use that all the time. Same, it's like you're adding a little correction or surprise. Yeah, it was actually pretty good. Exactly. Okay, let's combine these. Ooh, challenge time. I was actually kind of tired today. That sounds so natural, right? Okay, let's talk about storytelling a bit. Yeah, because talking about your day is basically storytelling, even if it's a small story. Exactly. So what makes a story interesting? I'd say details, emotion, and maybe a little surprise. Ooh, I like that. Like, instead of saying, I went to the store, you could say, I went to the store and something weird happened. Oh no. Yeah, but I was actually happy because the food they gave me was better than what I ordered. That's a win. Exactly. See, that's a great story. And it's simple. Very simple. But interesting. Exactly. Okay, I want to talk about something real again. You always do. I think learners sometimes feel embarrassed when speaking. Yeah, that's very common. They're afraid of making mistakes or being judged. Yes. Judged means people are evaluating you, maybe negatively. Right. But honestly, most people are not judging you. They're just listening. Or they're thinking about their own problems. That's so true. People are busy with their own lives. So don't worry too much. Exactly. Okay, let's do a quick language highlight moment. Oh, I like this part. 3 useful expressions. All right. First, to be honest. We mentioned that earlier. Yeah, it makes your sentence more real. Example, to be honest, I didn't do much today. Nice. Second, guess what? Oh, that's fun. Yeah, you use it to introduce something interesting. Example, guess what? I met an old friend today. Perfect. Third, turned out. Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, it means the result of something. Example, I thought the day would be boring, but it turned out to be really fun. That's such a useful phrase. Very natural. Okay, that was a good highlight. Yeah, I like those. All right, I feel like we're getting closer to real-life conversation now. Yeah, it feels more natural. Less like learning, more like talking. Which is the goal. Exactly. All right, before we wrap part 2... Wait, already? Yeah, we've covered a lot again. That's true. And maybe a full day story? Yes, like a complete example. I love that. See you in the next episode. Bye-bye.